Good morning, and welcome to our Lenten morning devotion for March 3rd. I invite you, if has been your practice, to light a candle as a reminder that as any time that we meet in prayer or devotion or worship or service, God is with us in a special way. I want to start with Psalm 121 again today. This will be our psalm for the next couple of days. Hear these words. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. The one who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. God will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore. I'd also like to read to you again a selection from 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 1 through 8. Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done and how he had killed all Baal's prophets with the sword. Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah with this message: May the gods do whatever they want to me if by this time tomorrow I haven't made your life like the life of one of them. Elijah was terrified. He got up and ran for his life. He arrived at Beersheba in Judah and left his assistant there. He himself went farther on into the desert, a day's journey. He finally sat down under a solitary broom bush. He longed for his own death. It's more than enough, Lord. Take my life because I'm no better than my ancestors. He lay down and slept under the solitary broom bush. Then suddenly a messenger tapped him and said to him, Get up, eat something. Elijah opened his eyes and saw flatbread baked on glowing coals and a jar of water right by his head. He ate and drank and then went back to sleep. The Lord's messenger returned a second time and tapped him. Get up, the messenger said. Eat something because you have a difficult road ahead of you. Elijah got up, ate and drank, and went refreshed by that food for 40 days and nights until he arrived at Horeb, God's mountain. Now, I referred to Jezebel earlier this week, not just about this biblical reference to her in the story of the clash between Baal and Yahweh, but how that name has been used in a racist, sexist fashion. Our faith calls us to be people of love and justice, so anything that would demean others is a separation from God and one another. It's a sin. But I don't want to focus on Jezebel today. I want to turn to Elijah and his response to Jezebel's threat. I love this whole story about Elijah. If we read the whole story, we'd run across the expression of God that comes across as a still small voice or a gentle whisper or the sound of sheer silence. But I don't want to focus on that today either. I want to spend time with Elijah in his doubt, in his fear, because I think that's something we can identify with. It's that thing that we go through when faced with the biggest challenges. For Elijah, he had just orchestrated a showdown with the prophets of Baal and won mightily. Jezebel, a worshiper of Baal, wasn't happy and was out to get Elijah, so he ran into the wilderness. After many days, he was exhausted, thirsty, and hungry, and he lay down under a broom tree and told God he was done. End it now. God wasn't ready to end it, not one bit. Which is also something I think we have in common with Elijah. God isn't quite ready to end it with us either. Fortitude or persistence or perseverance, whatever word you want to pull out of the thesaurus for sticking to it, is recognized as a gift of the Holy Spirit, a gift from God. I think about the people I know and have known who seem to have been given an abundance of the sticking to it gift. my own mom as she makes her way through knee surgery and before that heart stuff and hip stuff and staph infection stuff and dealing with the result of raising 4 strong-minded daughters. I think about our friend Timothy, who relentlessly speaks out against homophobia and sexuality inequalities. I think about our friend Dave as he faced pancreatic cancer, first fighting it, then how he persevered to live as fully as he could, as long as he could. I think about all those who are standing up and speaking up to legislatures across the country as more and more bills are introduced that will cause great harm to trans youth and women and minorities and the environment. I think about my sister Liz, who is relentless about raising awareness of the devastation that climate change and overpopulation has on such treasures as the Great Salt Lake. God is not ready to be done with us. And that means that God will not let us simply curl up whatever form of broom tree we have at hand. There will always be something or someone who will come along to tell us to get up and eat something because we have a difficult road ahead. Convictions of faith are never easy, but when they are based in love and grace and equality, they are always right. They are always what God intends. As you go into this day, go with the gift of perseverance that God has given you. Get up and eat something, for the road ahead is difficult and right. I invite you to pray with me. Holy, persistent one, as we awake from our slumbers, may we give thanks for the simple food that is before us. As it strengthens us for the road ahead, may we be reminded that you are leaning into us to be instruments of justice and equality. May we be reminded that although the journey is difficult, it is right. May we recognize your persistent spirit as we travel into this day. Amen. So now as you go forth into this day, go with the persistent spirit of God and go in peace. If you have lit a candle, I invite you as you extinguish it to watch the smoke rise into the room and let it be a reminder of how the persistent spirit of God goes with you.